Hello, this is April Winchester, J-BEL Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And I'm going to do a quick card for you. I got this one, you've probably seen it before, but it's Way to Goat. And I hadn't used it yet. And a friend recently asked me for some cards. And I thought, oh, I'm going to try this stamp set out. It's super cute, and I think it makes really fast, quick, simple cards. So I'm going to show you one of those quick, simple cards. I just store that there for now because I'm going to need it. So Way to Goat. Links for things will be in the description. As you can see, I've already been playing around. So I'm going to use a scrap piece of Whisper White. And then I'm going to have a half piece of thick Whisper White that I'm going to fold in half. And I'm just using my bone folder to make a nice crisp edge. And I'm going to set this card base aside. And then I have a piece of Granny Apple Green. I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green first, and I'm going to stamp this little can, I think it's adorable, in the background, all over the background with Granny Apple Green. So let's go ahead and do that. I hope everyone had a great Christmas if you celebrate. And if you don't, I hope you had whatever happy holidays that you do celebrate, if you celebrate any at all. I am currently on vacation. I work at a school, and we do not have school this week. So, busy keeping my kids entertained. All right, so I'm just going ahead and putting those cans all over my background. And I like to turn my stamper in different directions so that it's not all uniform. And then I'm just gonna fill in some of these little spots here. And you can keep yours further apart or closer together. Usually I do it a little bit further apart than I'm doing right now, but I decided to just go ahead and kind of fill this in. It's okay if that didn't stamp completely. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. Probably because I hear my husband in the background talking to my son. I'm actually going to redo that real quick. Now, my son actually just went down to his room, so you may hear him because I have a baby monitor so that we are able to hear him when he's down there. All right, just filling this in. Making sure that I stamp the whole stamp this time. And that's not bad. I'm just going to fill in a little bit on the edges. And there, that's good. And you can fill it in as much as you want or as little as you want. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is set this aside. And I'm going to take my scrap. This is actually, it doesn't look like a scrap, but it is. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, you old goat. I think it's hilarious. Actually, saw a video recently with somebody who said they would never use it. They don't think it's funny. They think it's kind of mean. I think it's hilarious, but I guess it depends on who you're sending it to. I'm using Memento Black to stamp this. And I want a good amount of ink so I can get a nice clean image. just going to stamp that right here. Perfect. And I don't need to be straight on this paper because I'm going to use some dies to cut it out. Now I'm going to stamp the bigger, fluffier goat. And I will do that up here. Now, before I do my die cutting, I'm going to color the goat a little bit. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate alcohol markers, my Stampin' Blends, which is part of the reason why I use Memento ink. I kind of wanted to stamp my goat in gray, but I was worried that the Memento that the gray ink would smear. So I'm using the Memento. So I'm going to use dark Smoky Slate first, and I'm just going to go over all the outside lines and the little lines of wool, almost said fur, within this goat, which I kind of think he almost looks more like a sheep, to be honest with you, but and I don't really care if I go outside the lines a little bit. This is like a kind of a whimsical, fun stamp / card, so I don't think it has to be perfect. If you want to be perfect with yours, that is fine. Now, something else that I'm going to do is color his feet in the dark one, but just his hooves. I'm going to leave the top of the legs for now. And I'm going to actually give him a little bit above his eyebrows. I mean, his eyelids too here. All right. Now I can come back to this if I need to, but I'm going to switch to my light, and I'm going to just color it in. I'm not sure. Hopefully I'm not like have my head in the way, but I really am not sure. I moved my stand a little bit. So I'm honestly not sure if it is in a different position for my head or not. It's pretty close to me in comparison to what it usually is. So anyways, I'm just really doing this. I'm not really being neat necessarily about it. And I'm not really doing a lot of blending. I'm just filling it in a little bit. And then I'm going to really quickly, but not perfectly, go through the center here. But I don't care about all the white. I want some of that white there. And I'm going to go ahead and do some white here on his nose. And then I'm going to just use my light flirty flamingo, kind of color his nostril area in a little bit. And then I'm going to use my color lifter. It's the white one. I'm just going to kind of go over some of these spots a little bit. I don't want it to be this dark, but I don't have any other grays right now for my Stampin' Blends. So I just make do with what I've got, and I'm okay with that. I'm just slowly getting the Stampin' Blends. I never really, I'm not really a colorer, or someone who colors. I don't know if colorer is a word. Oh, you know what I just noticed? I didn't color in his legs. Oh, I need to do that. There. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit more around his nose there, because that just didn't look right to me. Now you can do your goat in whatever color you want. I could do like a brown or tan, or I could even leave him white. I just really wanted to go with the gray theme here. I thought gray looked good with the granny apple green. So there's my goat. Now, what I'm going to do is take this other little stamp from the set. And it's like a little shadow or grass. I'm going to use it like grass. I'm going to take back my granny apple green. And I'm going to put it under the goat's feet. And that's all right. It's hard kind of to tell where to put it. He's not quite standing on it, but I'm okay with that. All right. So now what we're going to do, is I use the stitched shapes. So I took the squares, the second largest square, and I'm going to put it around the goat. And then I'm also use the smallest stitched square and put it around my happy birthday, you old goat. Now this just fits with the way the birthday is. So I got to make sure to line it up well enough so that I'm not cutting off too much of either letter on either side of the birthday. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine real quick. Right now I just have a big kick, but I'm hoping to get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine at some point. You can see my well-loved plate. And there are my pieces. All right, so now what I'm going to do is bring back in all my parts. I've got my granny apple green background, my two cut shapes, and I'm going to also use some linen thread. I'm going to wrap the linen thread around this twice, and I'm just gonna put it like on the lower third of my sheet here. And lots of people use like a run of their Stampin' Seal or something. I'm gonna use some actual tape. And I'm just going to make sure that this is nice and tight around here. And just kind of move it here so that it's not completely together, but not a million miles apart either. Really doesn't have to be perfect, but there, that's pretty good. All right. Now I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals. And so on the goat, I put 4. On the little sentiment, I'm going to put 1, and I'm only going to put it in the upper left corner. And you'll see why here in just a moment. Peel the backings off. And then I'm going to stick him off to the side a little bit. And then peel the backing off this one. And I'm going to overlap the 2 corners a bit here. I have my happy birthday, you old goat. Now, I'm going to adhere this to my card base with my Stampin' Seal. And it will have a slight bump in it because of the linen thread, but I'm not worried about that. Usually I only use 2 lines, but I think I'm gonna go all the way around it. And now I'm just going to place this on my card with a little bit of border around all the edges. And that is my card. Now, my original card, actually, I had put a knot here, and I actually think I might like it better with the knot, but I wanted to try without. So I might at some point add a knot here. But this was my card. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do actually real quick is I wanted to add inside. I'm going to add this little grass piece inside the bottom corner. And I'm also going to add the tin can. I'm going to do the can in black. And I'm just going to put it right there on my grass. There, it just adds a little bit of something to the inside. Now, if you want to put some kind of sentiment inside, you can. I'm going to leave it as is for the time being. Thanks for joining me. Please come back another time. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and my blog. All the links for those will be in the description. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like or comment or both. That would really help me, and I would so appreciate it if you would order from my online shop. That would help me and my family, and it would help me to be able to make more cards and to share my love of them. Thanks. Have a good day.